Hi everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this ROV dive. We're OceanX. Our mission is to explore the ocean and bring it back to the world. And that's exactly what we're doing on our marine research vessel, the OceanXplorer, today. As you can see, this is our mission control room. We have our ROV pilots in frame, along with a few guests today. And in the bottom right corner, you can see that our ROV, which we like to call Chimera, has just entered the water and is slowly descending onto our site today. Now, ROV, for those who don't know, it stands for a remotely operated vehicle. So unlike submersibles that have people operating inside the machine, this machine is lowered by itself into the water, and through cables connecting it to our vessel, the OceanXplorer, we're able to control the ROV right here in the ROV, in the mission control room. And by we, I do mean our incredible ROV pilots. Right now you can see Olaf is piloting the ROV, and we will have his co-pilot Nick joining shortly.
Tu vois, que ça.
L'utilité la profondeur, non. Je ne sais pas.
Beacons are coming in.
Roger.
How's the umbilicals okay?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Just ready for safety depth.
18.
So this should be a rather short descent today, but as always, our ROV pilots are making sure that everything is working correctly and that we are descending nice and slow to our target site. For those who don't know, we are going down to look at a shipwreck today, which is very exciting, of course, yes. It shouldn't take very long to get there, but we should be there rather shortly. We're going to be looking at the shipwreck of the Athabaskan today. It is a Canadian warship that sunk off the coast of northern France during World War II. So we are taking a look at it. It is a relatively recent shipwreck, so there is quite a lot to look at, and there is quite a lot of marine life on this shipwreck, so there will be lots to see during this ROV dive.
Oui, à quelle heure sauter la marée? La marée. Oh, c'était passé déjà. C'était
Cable
out, boss.
What makes this area interesting actually for this ROV dive, and a little bit challenging, is that being off the coast of northern France, the currents are rather strong here at the very bottom of the English Channel, so we do have to be very careful with our ROV as it descends, and just be aware that the currents are rather strong beneath the ship. Even though the waves don't look as choppy on top, that can be quite deceiving underwater. As you can see, there's all this motion. Of course, the ROV is dropping, but it's not very still water here today.
So could be the shafts, propellers if you're lucky. There are two guns in the aft section as well.
See that?
See that. Everybody come to a stop on the winch.
And for some context, we would like to welcome Mark Ward and Jacques, who are standing behind our ROV pilot Olaf right now in mission control. They are watching the ROV dive today, and it is particularly very special to both of them. On the Athabaskan was actually Mark's grandfather, and he did go down with the ship during World War II. Now, Jacques found the shipwreck a little over 20 years ago, and him and Mark Ward then dove on it, which is an incredible feat. It isn't too deep for our ROV, but it is a quite deep dive for scuba diving. And so they had dove on it 20 years ago, to pay their respects and place a plaque down there for the sailors who have lost their lives. We did a wreath ceremony this morning with the Canadian Navy, who is also on board as we take a look at this shipwreck. So we welcome them, and they may have some interesting insights as we have the mics up in the mission control room. So keep your ears open and we shall see. But we are very excited to have Mark Ward join us as he is part of the OceanX family, and we are hoping to do some better mapping of this shipwreck as well for them, and for this historical site and all the others who connect here. And with that, look, we're already nearing the bottom. Didn't take that long at all.
You're sitting on it.
Thank you. Current is quite strong still. Switch.
Not to worry, just a normal warning, just to make sure our ROV pilots are checking everything. Nothing to be alarmed, but we are at the seafloor right now, it looks like.
Have to shut it down, Ollie.
Okay, okay. Just check my later. I think 255.
Attention, la caméra là. Il fait la photo. Oui, Nick. Je fais la photo. Oui, Nick fait la photo. Là,
That's good, yes.
regarde la caméra. Oui.
Okay. Where's the remote control for this?
Did you not pay the cable bill?
Nick, where's the remote control there?
This one here?
No, yeah.
Got it?
Got it?
Oh wait, it's for this TV.
Okay, maybe, here's maybe this one.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're seeing lots of just settlement being kicked up by the ROV being lowered down, and you can see how strong those currents are, because that's not all just from our ROV that's making the sand and all the little creatures obviously that are floating in the ocean fly across the screen like that. And as you can see too, there is quite a lot of marine life that is living out on the rocks down here. Seeing some types of corals, and yesterday some of the scientists were saying sponges were present. So we're keeping our eyes peeled for anything exciting that may swim by real fast on our screens.
There's something in there.
Ah,
From the shells.
yeah.
Ah,
It looks
So
like our
somewhere on this
ROV
side,
pilot
yeah.
Olaf is pointing out that there are some possible shell rounds from the warships.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yep. More shells.
More gunshots, yeah.
Does that look like about a 4.7 inch to you? How's the current doing, Olaf?
It's pretty strong.
Yeah. Still over a knot?
Yeah, I think it's just over a knot. But it's okay. It's not out of control, so that's good.
Looks like a snowstorm in Ottawa.
Yeah.
RV bridge, Olaf. I've got 8 meters left to run and I'll move at point 1.
That's perfect, yeah. Like we found some more shells and here, so yeah, we're gonna come to a stop there and then have a look around. Thanks, Ian.
So for those who aren't as knowledgeable about ROVs, or if this is one of your first time seeing an ROV, what Olaf was doing right there was actually communicating with our bridge. So at the very top of our ship where the captain and second officer, and they help steer the ship because we need them to help turn the ship around to help move the ROV in the correct places that we want to be looking at. So unlike a submersible that's not tethered to the ship and has a lot more freedom of movement, our ROV team has to work pretty closely with our bridge team to make sure that the ROV gets to the site that we're planning on visiting today.
There's a ton of shells, aren't there?
Yeah, quite a few.
And not covered over with growth.
I don't know where this works.
Nothing hiding between the rocks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go around the side here. There's definitely nothing lying on top of it.
INS is in.
Okay. Is it reboot or?
I needed to reset the PBS on the relay. Never ending now.
Yeah, well, I'll try it.
It's primary.
Okay.
Well, nothing too obvious so far.
No, unfortunately not. No, I thought there were shells there, but nothing.
Those
Nothing else.
rocks are very deceptive.
Yeah, yes. Very deceptive indeed. Okay. I think this might be rocks.
It's almost like watching a golf game.
Baseball.
So right now there is a known site for the Athabaskan, but when the Athabaskan sank, it sank in two parts. So there is a known half of where half of the Athabaskan is, but the other half is still undetermined where it lies in the debris field, and so that is what our ROV team is doing right now, taking a look at some interesting points that popped up on the mapping, which obviously with mapping you don't know if it's going to be a large natural feature like a rock or canyon or something else, or if it is a man-made shipwreck or anything of that nature.
We'll go further to the south a little bit more, and then I guess we can rule
Track west.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go further west, yeah. But I think this structure here that we saw is just rocks.
I mean, it may just be strewn about the rocks with that explosion. Little bits and pieces
Yeah.
blown around. There might not be anything really significant in one piece.
And as Olaf and Mark were saying, yes, it does look like this area that we thought may be more parts of the debris field, and we did see some shells that looks like it may have came from the Athabaskan, or at least the battle. It does appear that the features that were showing up on the mapping we were doing do appear to be just natural rock formations. So we will be heading now towards the known shipwreck site of the half that Mark Ward and Jacques have dove upon before.
think it's a giant bridge, isn't it? Sadly. Okay. Shall we head west?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, bridge. If we can head west, please, at 0.3. 100 meters.
Yeah, stand by. We're going to put metal sharp. Yeah.
Roger.
So I guess those shells could have stayed afloat a little bit longer, taken longer to drop.
And so now the bridge team is helping us now move west to the known shipwreck site. And for anybody who is just joining, welcome. Hi, we're OceanX, and we're on a mission to explore the ocean and bring it back to the world. Today on our research vessel, the OceanXplorer, we have our ROV, aka a remotely operated vehicle, in the water. We're off the coast of northern France looking at a known shipwreck site of the Athabaskan, a Canadian warship that sunk off the coast during World War II. We have our ROV pilots, of course, in mission control, but we also have behind them Mark and Jacques, who dove on the Athabaskan shipwreck site, which was a pretty amazing feat in itself. It was quite deep for a scuba dive. They dove on it 20 years ago. Mark was inspired because his grandfather was on the ship when it sunk. But they are now back 20 years later and seeing it through the lens of the many cameras that are on our ROV, and we're going to also be mapping the site in more detail today. We were a little bit east of the known shipwreck site, looking at some interesting features that popped up on some mapping we did earlier today to see if they were more parts of the shipwreck. We did see some what appears to be shells left over from possibly the Athabaskan or any other ships around during the battle, but other than that, the large features appear to be rock formation. So we have now asked the bridge to move us west to the known shipwreck site.
Yes, hello.
Okay, we're after, is that 100 meters?
Do you-
1.3?
0.3, yes, please. Thank you.
Je dis que ce caméra sur l'Europe, et celui, c'est une Fisher. Oui. Pretty straight angles those rocks have.
Yep. Yeah, I can relate to the experience when we did a new survey and ROV operation on my ship. Frustration, sometimes you're so excited and it takes an hour and you don't find anything because it was a square rock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Becomes your best guess, right?
Yeah.
Interesting color of that rock there. Yeah, this.
Encrusting sponge.
Is it? That's why you have a scientist, not a naval officer.
You look for the boat, I'll look for the sponges in the coral.
like that next patch of rocks.
Could be.
There may be some stuff on top of it.
Could be a set for that.
I sure hope, but.
Qualité de l'image à l'arrière. Qualité.
You mean by there, Mark, or you mean?
Yeah, the next one over, yeah, just because it's closer. And it seems like it's.
Oh, there's more
raised.
shells here.
What?
More shells?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
C'est ce qu'on a vu tout à l'heure déjà.
Yeah.
Another shell here. Rich, come to a stop, please, for now. So, catch up with the boat a bit and then just have a look at the sonar here. So it just rocks, I think.
At the bottom, there's a shell there on the right, top right of the screen. Right there. Broken there in the corner.
Yeah, this is also another shell, yeah.
Let me shout.
Getting good at entering shells into the system here,
Good.
which is appropriate, right? We're in the
Good way to
sea,
practice.
shells.
Incredible to see that. I wonder it took him so long to find something here.
Another shell there. Looks like it's straight ahead.
Yeah, another shout.
I mean, theoretically, where there's smoke, there's fire, so
Yeah.
we're getting close.
Super complex event.
The rear camera is amazing. It looks like it is a rear
Yeah.
camera.
Makes the viz look pretty enticing.
There's your coral.
Olaf, what's that about 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock?
Just organic?
No, this is like there will be something here, there's something there.
Okay, like
Is it,
cable,
and there's
cable or something?
definitely some debris here.
There you go. The sticks there, it looks like sticks or cables. Or
And this is, yeah, like some
Pipes
debris and this is crumpled metal.
oh, no, it looks
Okay.
like
There's something there.
something there, yeah. Ring shells. The side of a ship, like you
Yeah.
can see the beams or.
Yeah. Concrete hill in the shell.
Look at this guy peeking out at us.
Still far away, right? Olaf?
Yeah, we're still far away, yes, but it's like, this is, yeah. There's something else in the coming from the sonar there. It's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
4 meters ahead.
Condor.
Oh, no, actually, this will be this ring here.
That's the ring we're seeing.
Does anyone else see the fish sticking its face out of the pipe?
Change the,
Yep.
please, thank you.
Well, this is certainly looking like a piece of the aft section.
This is work.
Click on the Quincy drawing.
Sorry?
Click on the Quincy drawing.
How big is that?
What's the scale on that?
Yeah.
Change it.
You want lasers?
Lasers on? Lasers.
They're 10 centimeters apart, so you're aware.
Okay.
I would take a frame grab
Be
here.
about the
Mark, I
size,
would take a
wouldn't
frame grab here that you can just type in lasers and hit enter. That way you can go back and scale it.
Gotcha.
So we use these lasers on the ROV to tell us how big things are. As you could hear, Maddie was saying off camera that the lasers are 10 centimeters apart, and so when we put the lasers up and we take a screen grab of the video, we're then able to determine how long creatures, or in this case, pieces of a shipwreck are.
Continue.
Is that a rock or
Yeah,
is that a
just press the
boil?
index. Just let it catch up with the video.
There we go.
That's it.
Could be just a massive debris field, right? Wide debris
Yeah.
field.
And that's a pretty good piece there.
Yeah.
And that sure looks like a portion of the aft section.
Yeah.
You'll imagine it being something else.
Might not be together at all.
Yeah.
Stuck. There you go.
And so we are interested in finding the other half of the Athabaskan today, because there is a theory going around that the Athabaskan may have sunk due to friendly fire instead of encountering the Germans during World War II. There was some survivors from the shipwreck saying that they heard 2 strike sounds against the vessel instead of just 1, and so that they have not been able to 100% determine what did cause the vessel to sink, since they have not seen the full sunken vessel yet, and that is something that Mark and Jacques are hoping to put to rest today, if they do find the rest of the Athabaskan.
Thank you.
Looks like a good hiding place. On the forward-looking sonar, like around
Yeah.
10 o'clock, does that
10 o'clock, yeah. I can have a look at that.
raised up that piece?
Vous n'avez pas les caméras comme ça à l'époque. Vous n'avez pas les caméras comme ça à l'époque.
Non. Il y a 10 caméras.
That would be this piece here.
Okay.
Une avant, une arrière.
Yeah, no.
Just rock.
Look, potentially, maybe also not. Maybe. A bit closer.
It's suspiciously uniform, but yeah, it's a rock.
That's it. So what are they? Think. There's definitely some debris here.
Yeah.
There's another shell.
Yeah.
Where do you want to put a timestamp on here? Okay.
Another shell.
Yeah, just came from there. This
Yeah.
big string of rocks that was.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw, maybe
From here.
10 of the shells in that first area.
Yeah. Just in terms of investigating what they picked up. We didn't
Just a rock on the left there? Ledge.
This one here?
Yeah.
What's this? This is in the skid camera, is that a rock?
That round thing there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that round thing
Kind of
is.
suspiciously round,
Yeah,
cylindrical.
that's a rock.
Say again?
That's a rock, I think. Just
think it's a rock?
Yeah. Oh, coming down, sorry. Rachel, stop, please. That's a rock.
It's a nice sponge, I love
Yeah.
I'm not commenting on sponges anymore.
It's in my head.
We love hearing Maddie Rodrigue, our science program director, speaking up when she sees a sponge she particularly likes.
Lobster.
Oh, langouste. Langouste.
Langoust.
Yum. Bon appetit.
Et le bras manipulateur, là.
And for those who don't speak French, I do believe lobster?
Yeah. Just have that right here. Side.
You wonder what the langoust thinks.
Yes. What is that? All the stuff is phenomenal.
Hold on, I'm almost thinking like more towards the north end of that
North
rock
end of
pile.
it? Okay.
Or, but we can go straight over top of it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, you could have stuff hiding in between too, right?
Yeah,
Between the rocks.
this is definitely
This is really
tricky
rocky.
territory.
It's got a big wood.
Bunch of boulders.
A bunch of boulders, yeah.
She does not want to give up her secrets easily.
No.
It would not be fun if it'd be easy. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
Generally, it's like a Franklin expedition.
Well, at least we've already found some clear evidence of a major part of the ship. I think that's got to be the basket and then the shells.
Going to the north of this. I don't know where it's going. Oh, it is.
Olaf, how much more time do you figure we'll have before conditions deteriorate?
I can feel the current increasing already. But it's actually I see something in the sonar there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is 25 meters away. Is it?
You think like a half an hour maybe, or?
No, I think maybe. Well, actually, it's not. We're holding pretty good at the moment, so I'll just have to assess how.
Because I think at some point it might be worth going back to the known, right?
Yes, yeah, that's true. The count is actually pretty good. So.
Yeah, good.
Half a knot.
Okay, half a knot. Yeah, I think I can go.
Yeah,
go for that sonar
that's
hit there.
kind of interesting there. Very straight line.
Okay, bridge. Due west again, 0.3, please.
There are straight lines there, yeah. 03, they don't lines. There's rocks, that's okay.
So what they're referring to when they're saying, oh look, there's straight lines ahead, basically it's known with mapping and most things in nature that it shouldn't have straight lines if it is something that is natural, like a rock. It can, but typically that is indicative of something that is man-made. Hence, if we're looking for a shipwreck, we want to check out these formations.
Well, that thing's a rock straight ahead. That's a very precise looking
Yeah, yeah.
section.
10 meters. Yes. It's definitely a high contender for something. Oh, there's some more debris.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, these cameras, sorry.
What is that? That's interesting.
I don't know what this is.
Is it a
It's
lobster
like a
trap?
cave or something. Is that a lobster trap?
Lobster trap, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lobster trap.
Casier de pêche.
Is there a lobster in there? Should we let him go?
And as you've just seen, one of the most common things we do find that's man-made on the seafloor is fishing gear.
This is our straight line, part of our straight line here.
That is the right west of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the aft section there, I think. Would love to see a couple of guns poking out at us.
Yeah, we can have a
Never
look at
found
it.
the gun, no.
Yeah, we found
Found
two.
some on the main rack,
Okay, right.
but not the aft section.
And so what Mark was referring to is the known section of the shipwreck does have very visible the massive guns that were on board since it was a warship, but the missing part of the shipwreck also had a very similar gun section in the back, and so that would be a very clear indicator if we were to find that and the surrounding area that is the back half of the ship.
As opposed to the.
Yes.
Okay, they're gonna try to get some high-res mapping also to finish the
Okay.
area.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Metal Shark will be working,
Roger that.
and then probably we'll need to pull away from the site once you guys arrive.
Okay, copy that. Thanks for this. Nick, can you put the starboard arm just a little bit further to the right?
Yep.
This camera is just annoying. Okay, bridge. Can we stop that move and then start moving northwest 50 meters, please?
Okay, northwest 50.
We didn't see that much there. You've got that one piece, but I don't know if that's conclusive enough to say that's the aft portion. Yeah. And Olaf, due north of this location,
Yeah.
here is like, looks like maybe 3 rocks
These ones?
at the top of the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say those are rocks?
Oh, that's really difficult. Like now that I,
'Cause that's the only other protrusion I see there close to the wreck.
yes.
I wonder if it's worth looking there or
Yeah, like
should we keep going.
we possibly maybe we'll go look at the wreck first, and
Okay,
then
maybe come back to it.
and then we come back if we have time with the current and stuff.
Or I guess also just kind of south and west of the end of the wreck.
Of this or this?
Yeah,
That's
a possibility too, maybe.
Yeah,
Probably more likely actually that it would be the aft.
yeah, that's true. You can quickly buzz over there to the.
Look at the edge and see if it's see, what is that there?
Yes,
Top left?
top
Right
top
there.
of the screen there. What is that? It looks like a narrow piece of something.
Yeah, no, still.
Like a steel beam or
Yeah.
Oh no, rock.
It's like a steel.
something
into a
flat
flat like
like
this.
Oh no, that looks like a piece.
Yeah.
Look at a piece of something.
Let's see what is it.
On the left side. Oh yeah. There's
how would you describe that?
piece of metal, I don't know, bar in it. Piece of a prop. Piece of a. I mean, if it's the form is.
Not much out of the ordinary here on the sonar. This direction, but I can buzz down here somewhat. Well, did you want to have a look at this? Or?
Yeah, I think so, and I don't want to disturb Metal Shark.
Yeah, no, Metal Shark is going to...
They've moved to whale, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's probably worth looking, just to see the very tip of
sure.
that
Okay.
section, because I mean, that's maybe,
Is that a tube?
Oh, yes, yeah, you're right.
Is that like a tube?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
So what they're referring to when they say metal shark, that is our small tender vessel, so a smaller boat that we have on board the OceanXplorer. We take that boat out and do some mapping in the shallower areas that the OceanXplorer cannot do its mapping.
that's not a case there, is there? Is that just rocks?
Oh.
Fighting. We don't want to believe that. It's going to fly a bit faster to get over to
Sure,
the
yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's in here, unfortunately.
For anyone just joining, hi there, welcome. We're OceanX and we're on a mission to explore the ocean and bring it back to the world. Today we're on our research vessel, the OceanXplorer, and we have our ROV remotely operated vehicle down in the water off the coast of northern France. We're looking at a known shipwreck site of the Athabaskan, a Canadian military vessel that sunk during World War II, though we're not quite there yet at the site as we're looking at the debris field around the known site and doing some additional mapping as the shipwreck of the Athabaskan split in two and only one half has been found before, and so we're looking currently for the second half.
We never found the stern, so where the name
Right,
Athabaskan
yeah,
is.
just kind of ended just past the forecastle. When you were down yesterday, did you see the anchor or no?
No, we didn't get to see the anchor.
Do you think that's possible? Do you think we have enough time to get up there?
Yeah, like to get to the northwest part. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try.
I mean, if we could go up one side, back down the other, that probably
Yeah,
was as good as we could get.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know about the pieces to the west, I don't think that's likely. It's probably just rocks. Yeah.
Get a wiggle.
It may just have been blown apart so dramatically that what we saw was, you know, what we're going to get. The rest of it's just kind of blown to smithereens.
Some stuff.
Oh, there you go. What's that? That's piping. Or
Looks like piping or.
Some metal sheet underneath us.
That's not a shaft, is it? No.
No, the shaft would be bigger.
And it would be
There's something
straighter.
around. There's something
Yeah.
around.
And for those who are just joining, the man in the blue shirt, his name is Mark, and the man in the hat sitting next to him is Jacques. They dove on the Athabaskan 20 years ago, and the man in the black jacket standing beside them in uniform is from the Canadian Navy.
Okay, we're going to come up to this side here now, on the right.
So
Yep,
plates there.
there it is, yeah. See the rivet holes.
Yeah.
And you can see in the code, Nick.
0.1. So that's kind of where she ended.
So that's part of the ship now.
Yep. That's
Midship?
part.
Yeah, this is where
It's
the,
past the forecastle, I
I
think.
guess the turbines are and stuff.
And so now we've reached the known site of the half of the Athabaskan that Jacques and Mark had dove on 20 years prior.
Quite a jumble.
Yeah.
Ça vous rappelle quelque chose, Jacques?
Donc je vois que c'est un gros morceau d'épave. Et ce point-là n'avait jamais été exploré. C'est fantastique la définition de l'image.
So, what is it? It's like a funnel on top of that?
It looks, it was a part of the turbines here, maybe?
Say again?
Part of the turbines, yeah. Maybe. Like we saw some yesterday on the pictures of it, when we were sitting on the other side. Like, with the turbine setups. Good.
For the funnel?
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
So this is certainly the popular part of the wreck. There's a lot more fish here.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a seawater intake there.
You almost need to have an engineer
Yeah, marine architect.
that comes and tells you like what the ships in those days would look like.
Mm.
Similar to what Mark had just said, that this part being more popular to the marine life, most shipwrecks do turn into artificial reefs once they sink. As you can see, lots of corals, sponges, fish, sharks, lobster, they all come and build a little habitat around the man-made objects that sink to the bottom of the seafloor.
It's a quick photo. Trying to find anything on this side here yesterday, so we're looking pretty.
You were not there yesterday?
Yeah, we were here yesterday. That's where we came onto it as well, and we kind of looked around here for anything like what could resemble the stern. Rudders or paddlers or something. But there's nothing.
Something sticking out there, right? It's eerie.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Qu'est-ce que vous avez vu, Jacques, quand vous êtes descendu? Qu'est-ce que vous avez vu quand vous êtes descendu?
Je suis arrivé
Maybe
sur
you
des
can
canons,
answer, or-
deux canons immédiatement dessus.
Unless it's on top of rocks. Or
That is like looks like cooling pipes, yeah. Like box coolers or something like that. Like heat exchangers, doesn't it look like?
Ce qu'il a fait ici.
Steam engines, they would have to try and cool it down again. Yeah, we learned yesterday that this could go 36 knots.
Yeah,
Incredible
Pretty
for those
fast.
days. Yeah.
you got a top, yeah, it's like a box of
Tac coup.
the top is open.
Les poissons, là, ce sont des tacous.
so current's going west to east.
Yeah. Seems to be starting to go east. Is this the anchor even? No, that's not the anchor.
That's not.
No, this is just a plate so the skid camera.
And how's that camera oriented? Is
Just,
that,
just a little bit tilting down, looking forward
okay, I see.
on the bottom.
Almost need to follow the ship to look where that box
Yeah.
was. Like, eels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what is that? Like
That's nice.
thing sticking out there where the fish was.
Like maybe a porthole, or
It's a pipe
They're
into.
going inside. Have you
Yeah.
seen it?
should be coming up on the village keel pretty soon, like maybe another 10 meters or so.
Yeah. Does it look familiar to you now?
Not yet.
Like when you,
But
when you were diving here? Yes, it is.
that's the side that came down on,
Yeah.
and it was on the village keel.
What's the
Plaque.
The plaques on the band? That's good.
Yeah, this is a pretty good ledge.
Okay, bridge, another 20 meters northwest, please.
This is really the most intact part of the ship here. The next 20, 30 meters.
If you want to look at the bottom, or do you want to look at the top, or?
I think keeping along the west side is good.
Okay.
And as I recall, the anchor is at the end of it on the west side, so it might be a good place to turn around.
Okay.
But I mean, if you want to get a little more altitude,
Yeah.
to see more of it, that's fine.
On a du mal à imaginer que c'était un destroyer.
You can look at the bottom like that with a skid camera and I'll come up here on the top.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did behind here yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
I took shelter behind this thing here yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Get out of the wind.
Yeah. Out of the wind.
It's almost like cables down there, or not cables, but pipes.
C'est un lieu magnifique.
Yeah, there's definitely some pipes there. Did you see the guns yesterday?
Yeah, two guns we saw,
Yeah.
yeah.
A little further north, I think, right?
Yeah, and not on the other side as we came around.
And a munitions case beside it.
Yeah, actually, no, I didn't see that.
Is that on the left there? That's from yesterday? Or just a plate sticking on top, I guess.
I don't know if you can tell, but you'll have the video so you can. That's no, it's like the casing looks like. But how do you tell if it's like one thing that I was trying to figure out is like how do you tell if these were forward or aft or midships or because I know we have like the photos and the diagram of what the ship looked like, but
Well, there were 4 of them, and so
Yeah.
the 2 sets towards the bow.
Yeah.
So just based on where the anchor was found, and these are pretty close to that. I think that's probably another 20 meters north, I'm guessing, on that side.
yeah. Just like based on the diagram of the vessel, when we were looking just at these 2, and I was like, I couldn't tell based on the diagram like what I was.
Yeah.
If they were forward, or if they were one of the 2 sets all the way forward, or one of the 2 sets all the way back. I was like, that would be kind of important to know if we're looking for that history.
Yeah, I think the proximity to the anchor is a good indication that those are the forward guns.
That big round thing is over there.
Oh yeah, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting a bit windy.
As Olaf was just referring to when he's saying it gets a bit windy, the current is very strong here off the northern coast of France, but luckily our ROV team is doing a fantastic job of piloting our ROV.
Did you say the anchor was north?
Yeah, continuing that track sort of northwest, I think. Surprised we haven't seen the bilge keel yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did go, we're quite high up now. So bilge keel will possibly be further down. There was a flag on the bilge keel?
Yeah, about halfway
Do you want to go
up that section.
have a quick look down there, or?
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, okay.
Just to at least find the bilge keel, because
Yeah.
from there you can just follow it.
Roger.
It's not too much.
on the multi-beam data, do you know any like a kind of further to the east or not? Or the bilge keel? Or the
What's the question?
like like the bilge keel, would it be kind of
Yeah,
somewhere there? Or
that's where I would have expected to see
okay.
it. And it's turtled over, right? So
Yeah.
it's not completely upside down, maybe more like a quarter of the way to the left. So the starboard side, let's see. Yeah, starboard side would be down a little bit.
It would take 6 meters.
But we can continue on to the anchor,
Yeah, sure.
just to orient things, and then come back the other side, I guess.
Okay.
Were you guys able to measure the length of this section?
Yeah, yesterday we were I guess the measurement data was also quite accurate, but we had a snail trail with us yesterday, so
And what did it come out to, like 60 meters, maybe? 60, 70?
yeah, that was, I think it was 60 meters, 76 meters or so. 76. It was.
And altogether it's 377 feet, so was it like 120 meters, stem to stern?
This section here is about 65.
65.
65? So that would leave another 50, 60 meters out there somewhere. I feel like we saw some of it. Around that first section, that big section we saw. Frustrating, we didn't see more though, because that's a lot of ship to just disappear.
Yep. And you cannot be under the top, like you didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Didn't collapse that way.
Would have been great to find some guns or something like that on the way, but
Unless it broke off early, that floated away, right? Separated.
Is it current?
Current is 0.4.
It's increasing, isn't it?
What's the current now?
It's 0.4.
it's not too bad.
Yeah, like it's not. I'm not sure how. I can definitely feel it's increasing.
Yeah.
Once I get on the other side, it's easier because then I can face it better.
See the body of the inside of the ship, I think. That's the frame and the beams.
Yeah. Skeleton.
Skeleton.
Okay, Luke, another 20 meters northwest, please.
20 minutes northwest, copy.
Because there'd be portholes there?
Yeah, maybe.
Look like curling rocks there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Canadian ship, so it's possible.
This one?
Could it be a winch, you think?
Bollard, similar to bollard or anchor drums, anchor drums. Could be anchor drums, right?
Don't recall seeing that on the dive. That's new. Never seen that.
Some more shells, yeah?
Yeah. So the gun is on the other side, right?
Yeah.
What is that here?
Yeah, what's that dead ahead there?
Yeah, just looks like wood.
Oh, no. I think there were 3 boilers.
Wow, this looks like a funnel? No.
It's more fun, isn't it?
No. That's air vent.
I think the anchors are a little off the main wreck too.
Off the main wreck?
Yeah,
Okay.
so like maybe another 5 meters up. Might want to get some altitude just to, so we don't miss anything. What's that off to the left there? Those 2 lines.
Tubes there, yeah.
Is that just more skeleton?
So what is that there? Those are pieces of the ship.
Okay, Luke, another 20 meters northwest, please.
It almost looks like a bone.
Luke, you copy?
It does.
Rich?
It looks like a bone in the bottom.
Jacques Ouchakoff had a radio message.
20 meters northwest, please.
3 minutes northwest.
Can you talk about it? Say again?
There's something in the, like in the skip camera there, that round thing.
Yeah.
It's going back to it.
So at least one of the anchors was in this area.
We're at 0.4 knots now, so maybe it's moving pretty quick. Maybe an hour.
Yeah, so there, so around.
Focus. windy.
Yeah.
Trying to
Boy,
find-
it's pretty unrecognizable, isn't it? Doesn't look like much of a bow.
Is this anchor?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's anchor, yes.
Close in on that if you can.
Yeah. There's the other anchor. Both anchors here.
Right here?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, that's great.
It's both anchors there?
Both anchors here. Coming down, have a look at
I
it.
don't think we saw the second shot.
And you can't see
You can see the anchors here, really, didn't you?
You can see it clearly, yeah, on the small screen there. You can see it.
Deuxièmement,
One of them, and then
deuxièmement, était très proche de.
the other one is on it, behind there, I think.
Yeah, you're really well north of your,
Of the main wreck.
of the main wreck.
Check that box.
Le deuxième angle devrait être à côté, là.
So that's another way you can identify the ship too.
Yeah,
The type of,
right.
the type of anchors.
Olaf, that section due north of us there, does that look like that might be worth exploring? or-
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Because we never got that far.
Yeah, sure.
But it looks like.
Just this bit here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like it's popping up a little
Roger.
suspiciously.
Okay,
10 days.
10 meters. Okay, Bridge, can we have a vessel move 20 meters northeast, please?
20 meters north.
Thank you. Just gonna drop back.
What is that, about 5 meters north or 10?
10 meters north. Not far.
I wouldn't expect to find much north of the anchors, but
All depends how it, moves.
this looks a little suspicious, that lump.
Everything looks suspicious.
Curieux, c'est qu'on n'a pas vu la deuxième angle. On sait bien celle-ci avec dans les cubiers.
Just be rocks, maybe.
It's also just a big lump of rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least we can rule that out now.
Okay. You never know until you know, huh?
And then I guess come down the east side.
Roger. Camera. Okay, Bridge, all stop on your move there, please.
Also,
Thank you. You can start or just yeah, I can start 20 meters due south, please.
20 meters south.
Thank you. How's your position holding at the moment? It's okay?
Yeah, it's been pretty good today. The rest force has been only like 10 tons since we
Roger.
Well, it looks like the anchors are the extreme north end of the debris field, at least from what we've seen. And then it kind of goes east and south for about 100, 150 meters from what we've seen.
Octopus.
Okay, yeah, octopus number.
For anyone just joining us, hi and welcome. We're OceanX, and our mission is to explore the ocean and bring it back to the world. We're on board our research vessel, the OceanXplorer, right now with our ROV in the water off the northern coast of France. We were just previously looking at the known resting site of the shipwreck, the Athabaskan, but we're going a little farther north right now to see if we can find the other half of the Athabaskan, which has not been discovered previously before.
Up and forward.
I've been blown up more than we think. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like you see a lot of
it's
pieces.
a strange piece there.
Lots of pieces.
So it's pretty far north.
Yeah. These are now rocks.
Cables there.
You think the ship fell down like this? From
Yeah, so it looks like it's about
That's
3/4 of the way
on its side.
turtle.
Let's see. Okay, this is the
yeah, it's way on the other side now. Like now it's so starboard side for that.
So starboard is buried,
Yeah, starboard is buried.
and then port side, bilge keel is to the right.
Interesting.
yeah,
Is that?
It sits in the corner there too. Like
yeah.
well, this is
Wiring or
light. Like
No, not light, maybe. Yeah.
a flashing light.
Yeah.
signal light?
No signal light. Yeah.
The pure, pure.
Yeah, a lot of cables and stuff.
Cable.
It's like a,
You can see the wheel on top there.
yeah,
You think it's an anchor wheel?
No. Sure. Maybe it's just a like a valve or something. Yeah, quite really blown apart, isn't it? I guess
I think the guns are tucked under here
yeah.
soon.
I think they're gonna.
Because I think the front of the ship, the anchors might have detached on the tip.
Yeah, I think so.
So that would be the starboard side? That would be the starboard side.
Yes, I would say so.
Because the beams are inside, so.
Okay, yeah. So we do it collapse like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You can see like a port.
Oh yeah, porthole, yeah.
That's a porthole, I
Yeah.
think. Looks like it. Huh? No? Yeah?
Yeah.
Or hatch. Or
En
hatch
gros,
or something.
on est tous, hein.
You can see the nuts on top of the.
Yeah,
C'est un gros.
Inside of the porthole, isn't it? I think it makes sense.
That would mean then that would be on the bridge or on the above the water. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
right?
C'est émouvant de voir tout cela, non?
what?
Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez, Jacques? C'est émouvant.
Oui. Je découvre autre chose que j'ai découvert l'État, mais jamais j'ai vu si nettement. Moi, il
Here comes the gun.
fier de soulever
Okay.
ce tas de ferraille-là.
So
Tout à fait.
Wow,
you see the guns now.
that's a great shot.
With a porthole.
Can you put the
Wow.
port camera on that?
Yep.
It's the money shot.
Great shot.
Oh,
of
les
the
canons.
Guns
Et les deux canons,
of Athabaskan.
les guns, tout gun.
You can see on the right, look at the gun. If we look at the original ship, we would know what that is.
Yeah,
Ça, c'est les deux canons qui ont servi à identifier.
oui. And maybe the
Est-ce
munitions
que tu peux
case.
regarder en bas à
Can you
gauche?
go down to the
Là,
left?
on va voir une porte. Une porte de coursive
Oui, oui.
en bas à gauche.
There's the munitions case nearby.
This one?
Yeah, I think so. It looks like it's really fallen apart from when we first saw it.
Yeah.
Guns. One of two.
Alors les deux canons, c'est la tourelle X.
Yeah. I wonder if the other pair is right underneath.
The gun.
Yeah, the other pair.
I wonder what that round window type of thing.
Could be another porthole detached.
See a second.
great shot.
Là, ça fait 20 ans que je les avais pas vus.
Feels like our first visit was through a peephole, and now we're getting the full view. I guess we can continue drifting south.
Roger. Okay, bridge, 20 meters southeast, please.
20 meters southeast.
I would think in like another 10 meters, we should be able to see the bilge keel.
Interesting piping there that's coming out.
Yeah.
So now we're
Should
past
be right about past the bridge.
Yeah, so you passed the bridge, yeah. See that round
That's,
thing?
yeah,
Thing on
I
top
guess, maybe that's a signal light.
Signal light or something there, yeah.
Lovely.
On top there, when you see the that round thing, top screen on the right there, like.
It'd be good to zero in on that if we can.
On the right. And,
Yeah, it is there.
Can you skip camera?
Yep.
And then that,
Yeah, it's-
Yeah.
The back of the signal lamp, or there's something right beside it. Oh, I don't think it's a wrong.
Is it somewhere like
Yeah,
the
it's-
bridge here, maybe? Like that, you know, the
Yeah,
tower.
so you can see this, right? Like,
That-
Yeah,
that looks like a
that's
signal
signal
light.
light, yes.
C'est un projecteur.
So you-
or the radar. You know what I'm talking about? Like the flat radar, the radar screen. You know what I'm talking about? Like.
Yep.
I have no idea. But they had like.
Yeah, but it's right.
Ouais.
I have no idea what the.
Je pense que c'est un scope, ça.
I don't know what that is, but
I think you might be right with the light, isn't it? It's a signal light. And this looks like what they have on the bridges for the gyro, the compass.
Yeah.
The,
you can see the round thing here, like also like the. This around like a circle thing, right? Like,
yeah. This one?
yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
The multi-beam team just sent you something.
Okay. Ooh. Right.
If they can.
Is it far from here?
300 meters west.
300 meters west.
Well, that's outside of our realm.
As backscattered photos sent to your phone.
Okay,
Maybe that's what they were talking about. This.
Yeah. Although I think that'd be even
300 meters
further.
west is further.
Other than that, huh?
Yeah, like a little blob off on its own there.
Yeah.
About 9 o'clock, 8:30. This is pretty impressive. What do we think this
Take a
is?
look at
Is that
Yeah, it
railings?
depends on mark and.
So,
Do you want to have a look at that 300 meters west, or I mean?
No, I mean, I think that's a long way to go.
Yeah.
We're getting really productive stuff
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Okay, copy that. We at least have some really nice data, mapping data
Okay.
from it, yeah.
Maybe it's another
la
wreck.
voiture, ça.
Maybe it's a rock, I mean.
Yeah.
If it was 30 meters, maybe, but
Yeah, 300 meters in this current is pretty strong.
yeah.
What's the current now?
0.8.
Yeah.
Would love to see that bilge keel. I don't know how we can get to it, but I feel like it's in front of us, maybe another 5 meters
Okay.
towards the wreck.
It's a lot of
Ça, c'est la
the
voiture.
mast, almost like the mast or something type of, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, could be.
It's a lot of you know, like mixed tubings or for that type of
Quite a mess.
yeah. That looks like a mast. Parts of it.
Yeah, it does.
Or superstructure or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We might be getting close to that bilge keel.
You think it's further to our left, or?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little south of where we are.
Okay.
There was a portion of the ship that where the hull was relatively intact, and
Yeah.
that's where the bilge keel came running almost straight out, as I recall.
Okay.
And it wasn't very high, like maybe 6 inches,
Okay.
but it's recognizable.
Okay, bridge, another 20 meters due southeast, please. Thank you. Great.
Amazing how much cabling there is on a ship.
Yeah.
Oh, now the problem with cabling on a ship is that it's all made with plastic that if you burn it, kills you within a few minutes. So therefore, we're really worried about fire now. The coating of the cable.
Ça, est-ce que c'est que le carré qu'on a vu là?
Looks like
Est-ce que ça ressemble à une quille anti-roulis? Tu avais vu ta plaque? Oui, pied.
Yeah, I think that's it.
À droite, là, il y a
So
un
the
rectangle.
question is, where does it start? We
À
can go
droite, là, il y a un
back up
rectangle. On peut l'embrasser.
towards the north and west.
Okay, bridge O, stop for now, please.
Non, je peux pas ça.
And then come back.
Thank you.
Ça te rappelle rien, cette qui vous lui, là?
Look at the cables on top of this.
Yeah, and the plaque would be, think about, okay, yeah, we hit the end of it there. So we'll be heading south and east. The
Japanese.
plaque would be probably another 10 to 15 meters southeast
Okay.
when it was placed.
Yeah, yeah, right.
But it's quite possible it got blown off by now.
Yeah.
How did you attach it?
It was actually just placed down. It was 30 pounds brass. We were trying to find something to zip tie it to, but there really wasn't anything, so it was laid.
For a little context, the plaque that Mark is referring to was when he and Jacques dove on the Athabaskan. He dove with a, well, now we know, a 30-pound plate, and placed it as a memorial on the site for those who lost their lives when the Athabaskan sunk.
It could be a boiler, one of the three on board. Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the village keel. So just keep following that southeast. Keep your eyes peeled for a little glint.
Okay.
Look at this. Look at it's almost like a
Stack.
The stack there. That looks like a stack.
Yeah.
Is that the end of it there?
Looks
Wow,
like it.
okay. Boy,
I'm not sure that's the bilge keel.
Look. Can have another
yeah, sure.
look and keep sideways.
Could you maybe take a look down the length of that,
Yeah.
whatever it is?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
try
thought
and turn
it
my
was
head.
maybe the keel, but
Right.
and I think that's on the outside.
Do you know how many people that have dove on the Athabaskan?
I think only 5 people.
Only 5 people?
Yeah. Only Canadian so far.
Only Canadian so far? So you're going due south or due north?
I'm going just north. I'm just gonna have a look
Taking a look at that
on the inside of the.
structure.
Incredible.
Right now, we are looking for the plaque that Mark placed. We thought this may happen because even though the plaque was 30 pounds, we are in an area, as you can see with all the sediment that's flying across the screen, there are very, very strong currents. And you never know what creatures may come by and help with moving certain items that are underwater.
I think we're looking at here.
So you're looking at it.
Olaf, that's me in the foreground.
Oh, yeah.
Behind that. That's why I think that's the
Okay.
village keel there.
Okay.
Unless it's fully covered and we really don't see it.
Yeah. But Bryce, nothing should really grow on it, should it? Like
Avec le canon.
yeah. What is it? No, like it.
Oh, no, what is that? No, that's no.
But that looks quite flat there.
That's the anchor that we
Okay.
saw.
Oh yeah. Well,
Deteriorated quite a bit more.
Oh yeah.
Ouais, on a vu. Il y en avait une.
And I don't think we've seen this yet.
no, we have not seen that. That's great. Some great pictures you got there.
This is the munitions case I was talking about near the
Oh,
guns.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think we saw that. Might have just completely fallen apart.
That's like
by
the
now.
funnel there, right? Like so you look on top there, the pieces.
And that might help too, Omar.
Oh yeah.
It's just before the plaque was laid.
There's quite a big plate, flat plate there, isn't it?
Yeah.
This definitely was on this side, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Come up a bit higher and see
So it
what
was
this.
46 feet down.
Unless it's covered. Like, I mean, 20 years, 20.
And Olaf, that's where it
Oh,
was
yes.
laid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's certainly moved around.
Look at those things, like.
What do we got? Is that another boiler?
The two round things look similar on top, right? Like one on the thing and the. There must be stuff under the sand too, right?
Yeah, for sure, buried.
Because you've not seen any art. Did you see any artifacts, like personal artifacts from people?
There was a couple of plates.
Plates.
A cup.
Yeah.
No like footwear or anything like that.
Their lockers and everything else, right?
What's it going, Nick?
1.1.
1.1.
Getting up there.
I can feel it, yes.
What do we think? We're going to call it soon?
Yeah, like it won't be too long. I think it's
Maybe we try to go as far southeast as possible
Yeah.
and then call it.
Yeah. Well, once we have time to finish this off, and then as long as I've kind of control of it, but let's get what we are. Right, another 20 meters southeast, please.
20 meters southeast.
Did that easy.
I think that's it.
It's plate.
This is the plate. This is
Incredible scenery.
Yeah. Phenomenal lighting. I mean, we had these little flashlights coming down there. So.
Lobster.
Yeah.
Blue lobster.
He's probably getting ready to find another wreck. It's too noisy around this place.
can you?
Yeah, eel.
Is that?
It's an eel or fish.
No, yeah, but the actual, like, we've seen this before, right?
Yeah,
Something
that's
similar.
yeah, from the other side.
On the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be a boiler.
Ça, c'est une chaudière, une chaudière.
Well, this is great. I feel like we got a really good look at the main part of the wreck. It feels like we did discover some of the aft section in that first area.
Yeah.
Not enough to really account for everything, but
Yeah.
that's annoying.
That's annoying. There's at least more questions open.
Oh, so what was the big piece at the bottom?
That's where the explosion happened. I think that's where the ship probably hit the bottom first, and so it's raised up a little more because it's probably contorted and popped up, crumpled. Sorry, we didn't see the plaque. That would have been fun to see.
What's the round thing there? Like you can see that almost like there's another funnel there on top of that. The bottom, see that round thing?
Yeah.
Looks like a ball.
Yeah.
This and then
Is
the
it-
other ball.
Some sort of cattle, some sort of fish.
Do you feel like it's a never-ending story, Nick? Mark, sorry. Do you feel like it's a never-ending story?
Yes, I mean it will continue to perplex people. I'm sure, myself included.
Look at the holes on top.
Yeah.
Look at the two that follows a square. Almost like a... See that, like the beam on top of the holes?
Mm-hmm. I feel like we got to be getting close to the engine room here.
Yeah. That's why I'm like,
And Olaf, I'm wondering what is like due east from us right now.
Due east for us.
Like that's obviously raised there. Did we already go over that? Is it rocks?
No,
or-
I'm just about to hit it
kind
here.
of wondering if that's maybe some of the debris from the aft section
Yeah.
too.
I'm just about to there we go, bring it into view. That's it here.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What is that? An eel?
That is the
look at the net there, that thing with the net, like a cover, an engine cover, like for blades or...
yes, hello.
Yeah, you have to bring the heading round.
Yes. Okay, if you just make sure that you turn it around to the launch point of the RV, please.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Four,
305 heading.
305? Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna come out soon anyway as well.
It's almost like a net there.
Oops.
Look at this, like this looks like the engine.
It's got to be the engine room there.
Look at the engine. With the gear there in between.
Yep.
That looks like the engine.
That's a good look at it.
Yeah, it's a good look at it.
And so that would have hit the bottom.
You're in the back.
Popped
there.
everything out.
The engine, you're in the back, right? Like
Yeah.
my interesting thing for me is you say you lost all the entire back, but
Pardon?
the engine's normally pretty far back.
Heading's changing.
Copy. Brings back deja vu, Nick. That's what we had out yesterday.
Look at this there. There's a net there, like
Fishing net on the skid
a...
here. It's a big jumble, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Cool.
You want me to go due east a bit?
Yeah, if we have time, we'll have to. It'd be great to
Due east.
head over there.
Just here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I
A
think
bit
that,
more east after that? Is that what you're asking? Like you want to
like within 10 to 20 meters of that.
there?
So yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I didn't get that far on my dive, but a couple of the other divers went to the very end. They said it just disappeared, but maybe they didn't see the part off to the east. What's the current up to now?
1.6.
1.6?
Yeah.
Wow. And it's moving west-east?
It's on our port, yeah.
So, and then so you want to go further
Yeah, I
further
think
here?
so, just because it's sort of close and it looks a little raised. Might just be some rocks, but if that's where the main portion hit first, it's possible that pieces flew off from it.
Just gonna fly backwards here. Recommended. Yes, hello.
It's coming down a little bit, but it might need a little
Ça s'appelle
little bit more?
on faisait des dérochages,
Yeah.
off the card pushing you away from
Et les rochages qui avaient été pris dans la journée, le soir, dans la villa. Ça te rappelle, c'est une ambiance.
If you can come 20 meters due east as well, that would be, or make it just 10 meters east.
10 meters.
Thank you. So kind of also this area, or?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at, that
Okay.
piece due north of you, even,
Okay,
that
yeah.
comes up a bit.
Okay.
This is looking like it's just rocks. I don't see any debris. I was thinking it's possible when it came down with that much force that it maybe split off some pieces.
You would think it would not be far from the engine room, right?
Yeah.
So look at my ship. The engine room is always in the aft part, right? Like so, the stern like should be not very far.
Not seeing anything recognizable here, though.
No propellers. No, not seen
no
propellers,
shaft. No aft guns.
No report when she sank that it was separating too very early.
Yes.
It was
Apart.
separating too very early.
Not very early. It was the second explosion, and then it sank within 10 minutes. So
Okay.
seems like these are just rocks, huh?
Yeah. Can always have another look north then, while I can hold it here.
What do you think?
Just
Yeah.
go to these ones?
Yeah, I mean, they look suspicious, but I'm also thinking it's not likely the aft would end up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the consensus here?
Let's see how much time we have left.
Well, we kind of, we're possibly, well, we're on the limits now anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, it's
I'm
not far
almost
from us.
wondering further south, just to.
Yeah, we did come this way.
Oh, yes,
and then-
we got a track there. I guess maybe worth, if we can look at that first.
The three
Protuberance, yeah.
Okay.
Feels like it's probably just rocks, but
you will have to look at it.
yeah, we can rule it out maybe.
That's us in position of safe weather.
Roger that, Luke, thank you.
10 meters.
Can you, 10 meters due north, please?
10 meters.
Thank you. I have to fly sideways. Keep my nose into the wind.
So again, for anyone who may be joining late, oh, a little crustacean, we are looking for the unknown part of the Athabaskan shipwreck. We were just looking at the known front half of the Athabaskan shipwreck with our remotely operated vehicle, our ROV, and now we're about to be finishing up our dive, but we did some extra mapping and saw some interesting formations on the mapping that could possibly be rocks, but while we're here, we're going to check it out and see if they are part of the larger field of debris that happens when a ship sinks.
Or are these possibly hitting its limits as well?
Yeah, I feel like that's just rocky. So, I mean, if we need to surface, totally understand. If not, we can maybe track south a little bit and get that one last piece. But
Okay, this one?
yeah, just south of that one.
Okay.
This?
Right, that one there.
That one? Okay. Yeah, we
Get the current to drive you there.
yes, yes, the current.
15 meters.
Okay, Bridge, another vessel move, 15 meters due south, due east, please.
15 minutes east.
Down. Down.
Some more white spongy stuff there.
Yeah.
So, basket. What's the pot?
There's rocks, more rocks. I hate that when you're looking for gold and all you get is rocks. Surprised at that section to the east that we thought might be the aft section turned out just to be rocks because
Yes.
it looks so suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, the side scan sonar found something 300 meter west, and maybe 300 meter west of the place.
Yes.
That would be a huge surprise.
I'd be surprised, yeah, but the
The position of the bow and it looks like there was definitely debris in that first section we looked at. And I think it was probably the aft section. So I think maybe the tide was coming west to east. So you wouldn't expect the aft section to be further up tide.
yeah.
Okay.
Unless you discover another wreck.
That's possible. I'm sure that there were a lot here. Chuck, combien d'épaves dans cet endroit?
Une dizaine.
Une douzaine.
Right. I'm afraid that maybe that will be it.
Is it?
I think so, yes.
Lift off?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we'll go back to
I
that.
really appreciate it.
That's all right.
Thanks for
Sorry, we didn't find.
Taking us up
Dizaine
a
de
ride.
pannes, c'est sur le destroyer canadien.
Yeah, I feel like we get some good intel out of that. Definitely found some debris, significant debris,
That's just all
off to the east. Yep. Got a good look all the way around the known part of the wreck. Relocated the anchors, guns, bridge. I think we had a really good look at the bridge
Set up
area.
for
and the
recovery.
engine room.
Yeah, and then move the vessel
Everything
east.
is,
I got a code
recorded, right?
0.5 at least.
Yeah, everything, all the different camera angles.
Bring the vessel heading around.
And then the
one north
multi-beam
again.
data.
Yeah, so we push that
The
up.
ship and also from Metal Shark.
Yes, hello.
Did you try to call the bridge?
Yes, I did.
Okay, nothing came through.
Okay, by the way, like we're just gonna do this recovery with the vessel move due east. Like we started with 0.5 knots, and then I want you to bring your heading around facing north, and then we just continue with the move, yeah, until we're on the surface and underneath the snubber. And I might have to increase your speed or decrease your speed as we come up. You happy with that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay. So we start off with the vessel move. Not yet. I just wait for Nick to go ahead.
Okay.
And we'll start off with the vessel move. Start with 0.5. And then we just, yeah, so then you don't have to fight too hard, and then you start changing your heading due north. Thank you. Nick, you copy? Nick? Is it? Nick, you on comms? Nick, you on comms? Microphone. Hello, here, Nick. Okay. I cleared with the bridge. We're gonna start the vessel move, going east. Yeah. And then we're going to bring the vessel heading around to facing north. Then we continue with the move, and then you, as we come up, you have to just increase speed or decrease the speed of the vessel as well.
Roger.
Okay. I can give you control.
Ready, set, control.
Give control. Got it?
Control.
Okay. Okay, Luke, you can start the move. Off button locked.
So those shells we saw, those were spent
Okay,
shells.
so which in all that?
They were spent.
Yeah, you can start coming in.
Which
We saw about a dozen maybe, 8 to 10, at least not one area, about 8 to 10, and then a few others.
Are they new or they all have to be? So look at close.
are you coming across the starboard there, Olaf?
Yeah, I'm start coming to forward and underneath the launch point. Okay, Luke, can you start bringing your heading around, please? To face north. Thank you.
If you need me to.
Okay, Nick, hold it down the depth for now.
Which all stops?
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today on our ROV dive. Again, we're OceanX and we're operating on our research vessel, the OceanXplorer. We thank you for joining us and we hope you all enjoyed the underwater views with us. And a special thank you to our ROV pilots, Olaf and Nick, and our special guests, Mark, Jacques, and the Canadian Navy for joining on this dive on the Athabaskan Shipwreck. Have a great day, everybody.